I like this interview because it's the format of which is to tell our experiences of the lesson we have heard from, learned from Srila Prabhupada. So the first one, to me, it's a small story. However, it's all to do with pride, and I'm all about pride. So when I got my Gayatri, there was no pujari in Amsterdam, so all the devotees before Prabhupada had performed the fire yagya, and all of us sat around it, and we had the ceremony. And Prabhupada was going to give personally the Gayatri mantra the next day, but because I had to go to Amsterdam that same afternoon, Ansaduta, who was a GBC at the time, asked me to come up to Prabhupada's rooms to get the Gayatri, myself and another devotee. So it was one of the most wonderful experiences of seeing Srila Prabhupada, personally, because we went around 4 o'clock in the afternoon after he had, a little rest. And I remember the walls were all peach, and the sun was coming through the light. And when I walked in, it was this beautiful glow and this beautiful light, and Prabhupada was sitting there. So he asked me to come. He was behind his desk, and he asked me to come to sit next to him. So I sat on his right side, and he gave me the Gayatri mantra, and he started reading it, and he asked me to repeat after him. And then he showed me how to proceed. He proceeded to show me how to put the finger at that exact spot. And I did it the first time right. So I was, I guess, really pleased, and got really proud really quickly, I suppose. And so Prabhupada went on to explain certain, like the first line, certain thing. And before I left, he asked me again to redo the finger, and I got it wrong. But to me, it was like, it's something I took. It was an analogy of how immediately one becomes proud. And like I said, it is one of my many shortcomings. So I have to understand that when the temple opened, we were still very young, and there was like 5, 6 people in charge of the temple, Gunanava, Sorabi, Akshayananda, Dhananjaya Prabhu, Gunanava as well, because all of a sudden, this is the first big temple Prabhupada had opened, and we're in Vrindavan, in the midst of all the smarter Brahmana and everything, so we had to do everything just so. So and Prabhupada wanted us to represent him, and so they could not find fault with us and accept us, So every morning after Mangalartik, we used to go to that walk, Shatikara Road, which is now Bhaktivedanta Marg. And Prabhupada used to ask all of us individually our different services, how we got on with it. Like just for me, for instance, it's just a small thing because I was doing the sewing. And so he was asking everyone when it was my turn. I said, oh, I go every day to the bazaar to get like cloth, thread, or this and that. And that's when he said, well, you make a list and you just go once a week. It was 1 rupee at the time. But something like that, so that was a small thing. Anyway, so at that time, Srila Prabhupada found out that that Balaram's plow was stolen, and it was the second time, and it was made of like silver. So Prabhupada asked at the time the head pujari, and the head pujari said, well, it was somehow, anyway, he basically said they were badmas, rascal, whoever took it, and they're really going to, suffer for stealing Krishna singing. And Prabhupada said, yes, but you will have to suffer half the consequences because it was under his watch, and it was his responsibility. He accepted that responsibility to that service. And by not doing it the way it should have been done, he facilitated for the thief the chore, enabled him to steal a thing. So that was a pretty heavy lesson, that we have to take responsibilities. It's one of the few times that Prabhupada got very angry. It was in Amsterdam, and so many things were lacking in the installation of the deities, were not done, whatever they were. And Prabhupada did not get angry at the devotee in question that got this, actually to the temple president. So that was an important lesson, that it's always, he was the president in charge of the temple, and he did not see to it to the point that it should have been done. He did not at all chastise the person that have made, the few mistakes and certain things were lacking in the preparation of the installation he got. And then another time, in the same blame story, it was in Vrindavan, and Prabhupada had asked this, this devotee who was a very good cook. She used to make chavda, this, and put it in the tiffin. So when Prabhupada could travel, he could have some prasad. Excuse me. And she was very, very good at it. So he had asked his servant at the time to learn a recipe exactly so it could be done. And I happened to be in a room when he brought it to Srila Prabhupada, me, this other devotee and myself, and it wasn't, something was missing, was too much salt or something. And that immediately said, but she told me to do it. Big mistake, never. And most certainly, the devotee in question definitely, might have told him to do too much this or less of that. But again, I wasn't like, you do not, you never. Even, like I said, even the case would be that, it was not your fault, never. Je anilo premadana koruna prachu